Hey, IDS 302, can you see that? Um, Welcome to my workspace. The sun is creeping over, so I'm going to try to make this quick. I've been out here since 7 o'clock and like a slow boiling frog. I've gotten used to this since it was probably 70. So anyways, I want to get this video up about the breakdown of the final paper because I know you want to know, and I was gonna record my C-session class, but then I thought, no, I'll tell you this separately. So we had class today. All right. So if you were to look, I'm gonna give it to you as straight as I can. If you're looking at the sample papers, here's what you should be focused on. Do the cover page. Just do it. It's fine. Okay. It's no big deal. Gives you a nice start to this paper. Do that cover page. Keep it simple. Okay. No graphics, no color. Boom. It's there. Okay. Second page, because you're gonna probably do a running header with page numbers. So do the running head. Then you got a table of contents. These are Word doc samples, so theoretically you should be able to copy and paste it, at least get the format. It's not going to be the same thing, of course, but it might help you to format it. Sometimes you got to hack things like that. Then getting into the top of the next page is where you're going to start. And what I would recommend doing would be every heading, everything should be left margin justified. Okay, you know what that is? It means don't put it in the center justified, put it on the left justified, and then you can use, for example, use Times New Roman 14 point font for steps 1 and 2, Tanner steps 1 and 2, okay? Then you would just, like I said, copy and paste your Tanner steps 1 and 2. Leave your questions in there, which were rhetorical questions or questions which justified an interdisciplinary approach. So leave those in there and just put it there, steps 1 and 2. Okay, then immediately following, just skip one line, okay, double line spaced, of course, right? And then you will do step 3. Again, left justified, bold it, Tanner step 3, Times New Roman 14 point font, skip the line, put your annotated bibliography there as you have it, right? So, oh no, I got a lawnmower going. I'm so sorry. I think this will be okay coming in here. So you will put step 3, your annotated bibliography there, leave it the way it is, it's fine. And then at the end of that, skip another line, and then Times New Roman, 14 point bold font, left margin, put Tanner step 4. Then you'll put your step 4 in there. Okay, copy and paste it, make any changes you want, we talked about, and that'll go there. Notice I'm not mentioning any big gaps, new pages, no chapter names, things like that. Boom, Tanner steps 1 and 2, Tanner step 3, Tanner step 4. Then you're going to get down to, again, skip a line and Tanner step 5. Okay, what is step 5 going to look like? Again, what I would recommend here is that you first, because you have that Tanner step 5 in Times New Roman 14 point bold font. Below that, skip a line and put another subheading, this time in Times New Roman 12 point bold font, and put survey results. And then go ahead and discuss your survey results using pie charts, bar graphs, the questions. You're going to disseminate it. That means you're going to express the information that you found from your survey results. You're not necessarily making opinions about it, but you are just stating facts, like this is what happened here, this is what happened there. The reason I say use use charts, pie charts, bar graphs, is that it's very nice to have images of your data along with the expressing it in the words part. Okay, so you're going to go through that, and then after that, you will skip another line, and because it's still under step 5, which is that 14 point heading, do another 12 point heading that says summary. Okay, and then start into a summary, and that summary should include, and these don't have to be headings, you can just write about this in organized fashion. Please stop mowing. Limitations. Okay, you will talk about talk about your research limitations, because good research will always have, hang on, can't believe I'm doing this. Lawnmower is, really sucks. Lawnmower is right down there. Okay, so maybe I'll have to go in real quick. Wow, I'm winging it here, aren't I? Okay, so the summary part, talking about limitations. It's good as a researcher to acknowledge your limitations because every research paper is not going to have everything. Okay, so in your case, some of the limitations might include, and take it from me, and who am I? Uh, you were only able to gather 40 results, up to 40 results. Most of you probably got 40, which is a limited sampling, okay? And that limitation is because of the limits of the survey design itself. It is to no fault of the researcher, but it should be acknowledged as a limitation, okay? Another limitation is that the researcher only had 7 weeks to complete the research, which is a monumental task and one in which it needs to be efficient and clear and fairly simple. The reason it's simple, and I'm not simple and easy, I'm talking about just simple, is because, again, a limitation is this is research is being done for a undergraduate class, okay, which is intro, introductory research, all right? That's a limitation. Again, notice I never said anything about I, me, my either. Please don't put that in it. All right. So you're talking about limitations, and you can talk about the survey results themselves in terms of research. Now, then that's where you can have an opinion. Let's say that your research only had, let's say your research you had 70% were males between 18 and 23. Well, you should put that in there to acknowledge that this is a limited study, a limited demographic. It still may reveal trends or habits or evidence of something, but it is again limited. And this is it connects the limitations with the question or the data itself. But then you can start expressing what did your data show you? Okay, how does that data that you have now, the current researcher has, how does it connect with the research that you looked at previously in your annotated bibliography and step 4, and how does that step into it, connect into it? Remember I said for step 4, you shouldn't be talking about your results. But here you need to talk about results and how it's connected and go through that in a nice narrative, okay, how it connects. Now, here's a key. What have I always said? IDS equals integration, right? So here's where it's going to be important for you to take your multiple disciplines and integrate them into interdisciplinary. Multiple disciplines will be talking about each one separately. Interdisciplinary would be connecting them. For example, in a student loan topic, you could then, in your summary, discuss how your data and previous data, may indicate that there are not only financial impacts here, but perhaps psychological impacts, right? And other disciplines that get into that, and how political science may address some of the legislation that might be needed or how things are set up. I like that fan going on behind my head. Yeah, when I was a kid, they said we could fly in 2020. I guess not. I guess we can't even leave our houses. Okay, so that is how you're going to set that up in a nice summary portion. Okay, and then when you're finished with that, then you go to the top of the next open page, and you put your works cited list. Yes, include the works cited that were in the annotated. Yes, include any works cited that were anywhere from step 1 all the way down. Okay, make sure that you use last names. Make sure you APA format, which means that the citation in text comes before the punctuation, right? It doesn't come after, and it doesn't have its own punctuation. So if you're using a quote, at the end quotation, close quotes, then you space, then you have a parentheses, then you have the citation, then you have close parentheses, then you have a period. Okay? All right. The way to, and I'm sorry, I'm going to jump back up to the summary. Though, how do you end a good research paper? Let me tell you. And you'll find this, I think, on the sample 1. Excellent. This is the way it's done. You put in something to the effect of further research is recommended or needed to gain a more deeper understanding of this topic and its impact, ramifications, blah, blah, blah. Okay? You might say the previous research and the current research show that blah, blah, blah. Remember, you're not proving anything. What it shows is this. It might indicate something. It could mean something. It may mean something. It doesn't prove anything. And then further research is recommended to build upon the current research. Now, do not you hyperbolize. Do not make it seem like your research is going to be used in scientific labs around the world. Okay, it's not. We understand it. Mine never has been, and we're not published. So keep it real. Don't overpromise. Don't try to puff it up. Okay, it's undergrad research. You didn't want to have to do grad school research. I didn't make you do grad school research. So again, to tie it up at the end, use that further research is needed, recommended. I don't care if everybody does that because it's your paper. You do it your way, okay? But that's a good way to end it, all right? And then you get down to the bibliography, works cited list. And then after that, you can go and skip to the next top of the next page and you can put in your survey questions and all the possible answers. You don't have to put the results, just survey questions and answers. And call that the appendix, okay? So now you got all that stuff to put in your table of contents, all right? You got steps 1 and 2, page whatever, step 3, page whatever, step 4, page whatever, step 5, page whatever. Under step 5, you could have survey results, page whatever. You could have summary, page whatever. You have works cited, page whatever, and appendix, page whatever. Look at the samples. Let that material drive yours. Notice those sample papers do have a limitations section. They could give you an idea about some limitations that you're facing that the other students face. Do not copy it, but put it in your own words, okay? And that should help you as well. I hope I covered it here as simply and as efficiently as I could. I know you're coming down to about, 34, less than 34 hours to go. I don't want to stress you out on that. So let me know how it's going. If you're running into any obstacles, if you're spinning your wheels, please let me know. It's been a pleasure having you in this class. Under these circumstances, just unimaginable, even for me, and I'm 61, so you can see that it's a whole different world. I wish you the best. I'd like to see you when you walk and graduate at Convocation. Fly in, because we'll be flying by then, right? Well, do what you can do. Stop and say hi. Look me up. Let me know if you need any help, advice, or anything down the road. And forks up. Peace.